let's turn our attention to the New York Jets, who were just atrocious in this game. It's funny. I was thinking it as both games ended, and I tweeted it even like they swapped week one performances. It's amazing. Week one, the Jets play really well, a lot of optimism, but they find ways to lose, whether it's obviously the fumble on the kick return or if it's the bad penalties on Quincy Williams out of bounds, on the personal foul. Like, just they found a way to lose a game that they had won. 60-yard field goal there. Like, it was just a 60-yard field goal to beat the Jets, a 64-yard field goal to beat the Giants. Week one and week two look exactly the same, almost exactly the same for the New York Giants and the New York Jets. And week two and week one look exact. I mean, it's amazing. The Giants get overrun week one against Washington, and that's what happened to the Jets in week two, as just from the jump. Like, just from the jump. The first possession, Fields misses a wide open throw. Misses Garrett Wilson wide open. They're forced to punt. The Bills get the ball. They're driving. Josh Allen commits a penalty on intentional grounding, creates a 3rd and 19, I believe. And Michael Clemens has a roughing the passer up high, hits him in the head. Did Josh Allen embellish a little bit? Yeah, you can't go high on a quarterback, especially one as savvy as Josh Allen. Can't happen. That's a brutal penalty, leads to a touchdown. Next drive, fumble, leads to a field goal, 10-0, and the game was over. This offense was just inept after having such a promising first game. And this is why even I was a part of it with the Jets after week one. I'll raise my hand. I was a part of, hey, a little bit to be excited about, some positive things. But he played better than I possibly could have thought he played. I know it's a heartbreaking loss, and there's no moral victories in the NFL. But, man, do I come out feeling good about this coach a little bit? Man, do I come out feeling pretty good about Justin Fields and this offense and their run game? Brees all look great. Like, there's a lot of positives despite losing the football game. Idiots. All of us. Anyone who said that, idiots. Because that absolutely led to nothing. And you have to talk about the coach, too. Like, the coach got a lot of praise, right? After the game, holding players accountable. He cuts Gibson this week. Holding players accountable. Accountability, culture, accountability, culture, accountability. Well, his team showed up and responded very well to that accountability. They were a no-show in this game. A no-show. I mean, Josh Allen doesn't even have to do anything. Josh Allen completed 14 passes for 148 yards. No touchdowns. And you lost 30-10. James Cook runs all over you, 132 yards, 2 touchdowns, a 6.3 yards per carry. We just heard Sauce Gardner. Sauce Gardner Josh Allen completely ran through him like he wasn't standing there. Like he wasn't even there. Just ran right through him on a big scramble off a broken play. Like, they just did. It was ho-hum. And let's be totally honest. Robert Saleh, for all his faults and the disaster that he was, these games have been traditionally close. He's found ways to beat Buffalo in this building. He found a way to beat Buffalo after Aaron Rodgers goes down 4 plays in, and he's got to play Zach Wilson. And he found a way to beat Buffalo. We were talking about it. All these games, the last couple years, they've lost by either a field goal, they won a game. Like, the last handful of years, in Buffalo, it's been different. In Orchard Park, it's been different. But in this building against this team, they figure out a way to keep it close. They have given Josh Allen as much problems as any other defense in the league. They play him tight, and they find a way to keep this thing close. And this coach and this team were ill-prepared. Terrible penalty yet again. Terrible turnover yet again. An offensive game plan that I'm not even sure what it was. I mean, let's be honest. Justin Fields completes 3 passes for 27 yards. They had less, and Tyrod Taylor comes in and throws for 56 in garbage time in the fourth quarter. Like, they had less than 100 yards of offense in the first 3 quarters of this game. Less than 100 yards of offense. This is a defense that gave up 40 points. I know the Baltimore Ravens are a good football team, obviously, as they pounded the Browns this week. I know they're a top-tier team. I picked them to win the Super Bowl. I get it. But they ran the ball down the throat of Buffalo. No Ed Oliver, a couple of banged-up pieces, a defense that really struggles against the run, a Jet team that wants to run. Well, here's the problem with running. It's tough to consistently run when you can't throw the ball and you're down 20. Tough to run the ball when the team knows you can't complete a pass and you're down 20. Tough to stick with that game plan. And this is what I feared the entire time. And, I gave Fields credit. He played far better than I thought he could have in week 1. He was terrible in this game. Let's just be honest. Justin Fields is not the answer. We know this. Justin Fields has not been a good NFL quarterback his entire career. He had a great game week 1. And now he's concussed. He's probably going to miss this week. You're looking at Tyrod Taylor. There's not even a lot to break down. This wasn't about one. Like the Giants, we can get into the juicy decision of kicking the field goal or what happened in those final plays before the 64-yard field goal, or Russ 2 mistakes in overtime, or you can get into a bunch of different plays, a bunch of different moments, a bunch of different plays, a bunch of different scenarios, a bunch of different sequences. There's nothing to break down about this Jet team. There was foot to ass. This game is over in the first 2 possessions. That's what it felt like. Punt, touchdown, fumble, field goal, done. Josh Allen gets punched in the face. He's on the sidelines. They take Josh Allen out the first play. Trubisky hits for, a crossing route over the middle for 15, 20 yards. The first play with Josh Allen off the field. 32 yards. I think he had 1 completion for 32 yards. I mean, this team, and look, we talk about, and the coach, let's be honest, how did he come out and have this team so ill-prepared for an opponent they should know very well, coming off a week of real promising football? He sent a message to the team, cutting Gibson. He's a culture guy. He's a vibes guy. He's not an offensive guy, that's for sure. And again, this coach that they decided to go to bring in culture. And look, it's 2 games. You can't make any decisions about this coach or even about the quarterback, although I feel pretty confident and comfortable making decisions about the quarterback. But, this team right now, there's hardly any weapons, right? You got Justin Fields running as a dual threat quarterback, is apparently a weapon. You got Breece Hall, who's got some ability and some speed, and you've got Garrett Wilson in the passing game. That's it. We'll see what Smith becomes, the young draft pick. Tight. You got. Rucker to tight end, and but there's no offensive weapons. You're trying to survive just on your offensive line, winning at the line of scrimmage, and being a tough-nosed football team, and yet they still do the same stupid stuff. At least Robert Saleh kept these games close. That's an embarrassing performance for this coach. It's an embarrassing performance for the team. And he talked about it after, very disappointed. I'd be disappointed too. Justin Fields was awful in this game. They've got a problem with the second cornerback. He was terrible in the game as well. Stevens that's one hell of a contract they gave him. Replacing Reed. It's been a tough go of it on defense in both these games, and the offense looked like we all feared it would. And that's what's frustrating. Off of week 1, there was 0 building. This coach is supposed to be about culture, right? Accountability. I've been saying it now for the last couple minutes. Culture and accountability. You come off of that week 1 performance, and yes, it's a gut-wrenching loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers in the manner in which you lost it. But you play that well. There's that much optimism. The offense looks like that. You're looking to bolster up your defense. You're looking at a team that's down Oliver, couldn't stop the run week one. A defense that has consistently played Josh Allen well in this building, and you get overrun, and you have less than 100 yards of offense through 3 quarters, and you're making, within the first 2 drives of the game, the thing that killed you last week was a bad penalty and a turnover, and boom, the first 2 freaking drives of the game, or should I say the second and third drive. The second drive of the game, you're committing a devastating penalty that prolongs a drive on 3rd and 19 that leads to a touchdown, and then you turn around and fumble it the next possession. Like, they were completely ill-prepared for this game. Completely ill-prepared. The Bills didn't even have to do anything. James Cook ran all over you. That's it. They didn't have to do anything. Again, Josh Allen completed 14 passes for 148 yards, and he ran for 60. I mean, he barely combined for 200 yards of offense, and this is the MVP of the league. He didn't even have to play. He's out there with a broken nose. I mean, just an embarrassing performance. An embarrassing performance. And it's hard not to feel like the Jets have gained nothing. And it's hard not to feel like, as you're watching the rest of the NFL, and you're seeing offensive coaches all over the league, like they went back to the tried and true method of a defensive coordinator who's big on culture and accountability. Now you got to cut Michael Clemens, obviously. So they'll cut Michael Clemens this week for accountability, and they'll just cut a player every week. Both of Gibson and Michael Clemens probably shouldn't have been on the roster to begin with. But, I mean, to me, you completed 10 passes. You completed 10 passes. You were down almost the whole game. You are down almost the whole game. You completed 10 passes. 10 passes. I mean, what else can you say? The offense was exactly what we feared it would be, incapable of having a passing attack. They were able to muster it up week one. We saw, we saw what Pittsburgh did this week. Seattle came across the country, went into Pittsburgh and kicked their ass. Maybe the Steelers aren't as good as I hoped they would be. But whatever the case may be, to respond, like, this is coach, right? When we talk about it, and Dable too, the way they came out week one was embarrassing. And to lose that game and all the penalties, embarrassing. Both coaches right now have left little to be desired. But this head coach, like, you're talking about his main objective here is to instill confidence into this team. Hold them accountable. Demand crisp, clean, good football. Block it up, run, play defense. And to come off of week one and how they played and the momentum that should have been built, the momentum we all expected, the momentum and the moral victory we talked about all week, and to show up against a divisional rival, a team that has owned the division, a team that has the MVP on it, a team coming off one of the best wins of the week last week and beating an emotional Sunday night game, beating the rival, beating a team they see in the playoffs, beating another Super Bowl contender, and they come into your building where they've struggled historically the last 5 years. Allen struggled against this team. You're coming off an excellent offensive performance with a lot of promise, and your team is ill-prepared to start the game. And they get absolutely manhandled in every way. You have zero offense. You can't stop the run. They don't even need Josh Allen to beat you. They could have stuck with Mitchell Trubisky. This game was over. It's an embarrassing performance. It's an embarrassing performance. And now you've got Tyrod Taylor's going to probably be your starting quarterback next week, as Justin Fields was concussed, which is also part of it when you have a running quarterback. You worry about taking the hits. You worry about these injuries. You worry about concussions. You worry about all kinds. You worry about anything that takes him off the field. This is part of the Justin Fields experience. One game, he'll look like a superstar and show you all of his talent. The next game, he's incapable of completing a pass. And the Jets will be, at the end of the season, talking about where they can find their quarterback. And it looks like they might be at the top of the draft to do so.